Online admin evaru? Surendra, good morning, guys. Oh, sorry. Good evening, guys, all of you. Online students, check it out. Am I audible? Online people. Okay. Now, so let me come out and see, guys, here. The last session, we started here, okay, data source. Okay. This is what the last class it was happened. So what is data source and the data storages we discussed? And data source means from where it was coming your data, okay, into your database. So that is what we called as your applications. So any application when the users are using and through that applications when they want to perform some operations, every operational related data will be saved under databases. So that means for your OLTP databases, the data is coming from an application. Okay, na? Right. So that's why we called as here our data source is what now? Applications. We called otherwise simply we called apps. Okay, right. And the next one we discussed data storages. Okay. The data storage is nothing but it is a place where we can store our data or information. So that is called as a data storages. And data storages will be three types. When you go for early days, so 1920s, 1930s, from there onwards, if you want to see, initially the people are using some papers and books and later flat files. And after that, DBMS will be come to you. Okay, no? So your books and papers we are using before computers. So that means you just imagine like this. At the time, there is no computers. So nothing was there. There is no technology, no language, no C language, nothing Java, nothing was there. Okay, no? At this moment, how those people, okay, they was managed their information. Okay, no? So because with the help of what, no? Papers and books. Then from computers when it was introducing, so 1940s it was started. From there onwards, so many business people they started to store their information, okay, into flat files, and flat file is called as a default file of your computer. So even though at the time of computers introduction there is no any softwares that, so just they are using some desktops, okay, with that they are using what now, flat files. And in flat files they started to store their information. So that is what we said. But and after that from 1950s onwards, the people was introducing what now, database management systems. So this is what we called as your software. Okay, now, and books and papers drawbacks we all of you know. So manual system, we required more manpower, and when we required more manpower, automatically cost the cost maintenance will be very high. And along with that, okay, there is no secure, I can't easy to manipulate, I can't easy to access my required data. Okay, so data redundancies, duplicates, when you want to write duplicates it will be allowed. So we can't handle big data. Okay, so these kind of things and problems we have in this books and papers. Then later we come out here flat files, and from there we discuss some points yesterday. So flat files, in this how the data will be storing means in your files, and with the help of operating system the files data will be maintained. Okay, but even though when we are using flat files. But even though when we are using flat files, we are facing some problems. What is the problems we discuss? Data redundancy, inconsistency, retrieval, integrity, security, and indexing. So these are the major problems which will be faced by using of what now? Flat files. Okay, now? And in this, the first three, okay, the factors, what is what we discussed and how it was we discussed in the last class. So data redundancy is nothing but duplicate data. And in flat files, the drawback is what now? The same information you can store into number of files. So when you want to store like this, your system or computer will not give any kind of information or any kind of error or any kind of message. They will not send to us. So so that's what it was happened. The same information you want to store number of files, you can happily store it. So that kind of problem is there here. That means duplicated data is going to be stored number of times in my files. That is one problem. So whenever you want to store duplicate data, so there is a chances we have what now? Data inconsistency problems. So data inconsistency means what now? Irregularity of data. So data is not having in the correct and systematical and matching data. It was some mismatching of data it was maintained. So that mismatching of data confusion when it was occurred means that when we maintain duplicates. If you are not maintaining any duplicates, then there is no chance to have a inconsistency problem. That inconsistency problem, I already said to you, if anybody can come and open your flat file and they can manipulate your data, and the same data are you storing into another file. In another file, that person details are different, and here somewhat different it will be show. Then what it was happened, the same employee information will be showing in two different ways. So in that way, which is accurate data, we can't identify. Whether this is accurate or this is accurate, we can't say it. So that kind of confusion we called as what now? Inconsistency problem. So yesterday I was saying, given one example to you, male and female. If anybody come and change gender, and in one file that employee gender showing as a male, in one more file the same employee gender showing as a female. So in these two different files, the person genders are showing two different manner. So in these two different genders, which is exactly, which is accurate, that we cannot say, because of reason the two files having the same information about your one particular employee. So that kind of things are happening in the inconsistency problem. That's why what we said, if there is a no duplicates, then there is no inconsistency problem. Okay. And later we said retrieval process. And what I said yesterday, whenever you want to read or retrieve your required information from your file, so what it was happening, it's not like that I can directly go and read. So instead of doing like that, the people was going to be started what now? They want to write some programming code. So initially we have only one language, that is what now? C language. So the C language, they was used to writing some application program to reading of your data. And in C language, what they are using, which concept they are using means they are using file handling concepts. So like IO streams, input and output, read and write methods, they're using this kind of some class and methods. Okay, na? So with the help of that, they're writing some programming code and retrieving your data. And this is highly difficult to the programmers. For every time whenever I want to read some data, I should go and write some program. So this is not simple. It was a headache to the programmers. So there is one more big problem. Okay, na? So these are the three problems we discussed in the last session. Okay, na? Right. And the continuation next, data integrity. Okay, the next one, data integrity. So here, first of all, we should know what is the mean by integrity here. So integrity is nothing but, guys, here to check or to validate whether the data is right or wrong. So that means the data validations we called. Okay, otherwise validating of your data. So the type of mechanism or technique It is not having on your flat file. So suppose in your flat file, come back. Yesterday we created one flat file here. This is some data we are going to be saved in my flat file. But here, just imagine, suppose I'm going to taking here, okay, one more column. Suppose I just go to taken, what is now? Mobile number. So generally, if this mobile number I need to save in this, okay, generally mobile number is having how many digits? 10 digits. For example, I'm going to sending some mobile number here. Okay, so 36789. After sending the 9 digits of mobile number, if I save in my file, so can I save this file? File is saving or giving any error? Yes, the data successfully saved. So even though if I'm going to sending my information, okay, about your mobile number, okay, so it was more than 10 digits. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 digits of mobile number I'm going to save in my text file or in my flat file. If I was entered that 11 digits of mobile number, and when I come back and see, when I come back and click on save, can I save this? Yes, it is also successfully we save. So here also we don't have any kind of a problem. Next, so if you want to save, okay, if you want to save exactly 10 digits of number, exactly 10 digits of number, okay, so 3, 6 and 3. So even though it is also saved, but that means what it was happening, so 9 digits of mobile number and more than 10 digits of mobile number and exactly 10 digits of mobile number, all types of data is allowed. But actually in this, the first one is not correct. It's an invalid of data. Second one is also invalid of data. And the third one is called as a valid data. But actually the problem of flat files is what now? While user inserting or while user entry level or storage level, your system will not check, your operating system will not check whether this data is right or wrong. So that kind of mechanisms or techniques we can't apply on your text file or flat files. That's why what it was happening in your flat file, if you want to store any wrong information, the wrong information is also allowed and saved. But that is not correct the way in real time. Because in real time, how we want to maintain our data should be accurate. Our data should be consistency. So the data, what exactly the programmer or client is expected, that data only I need to allow them. Okay, but unnecessary, unuseful, unwanted data, if user try to insert, that should not be allowed. So that kind of the validations and protections I want to give it. But that kind of things are not possible on flat files. Understand now? So this is also one of the biggest problem. It doesn't checking data. It doesn't checking data, whether user inserted right data or wrong data or whatever it was, it will be allowed. The same thing, one more problem. Generally, EMP number is there. EMP number is having the format is what now? Number format. So that means actually on this column, which data type I need to apply? Integer. Generally I'm telling. So it is an integer format of data. But what it was happening, you can see, suppose if I inserted into this integer format of data, if I want to save, the name is Scott. But Scott is which type? String type. Generally in our languages, is it possible, can I store the string data in integer type? Is it possible? No. Integer can I store into string format? No. So that means it doesn't allowed actually. But here what it was happening, you can see employee number is completely integer values, but into this integer field, I'm going to saving what now? String format. But even though the file will be successfully saved. Okay now, and the same as EMP name, I can save 1025. But actually name is which type? String type. But in this string, I'm storing which type? Integer type. It is also wrong way storage. But still your file will be accepted. So that means what it was happening here, the data, what it is, which type of data, where are you storing, in which location storing, this kind of checkings and validations are nothing was happened here. So that's why data can be stored in any manner. There is no any systematical arrangements. Okay, there is no any accuracy here. So you can wish you can store your data anyway. Yes or no? So this is one of the biggest problem in your flat file. But this problem, when you come to databases, we can't do. If you insert your less than 10 digits of mobile number, if you try to insert into your database, immediately database showing what now? Error. And it was telling like this, sorry, your mobile number invalid. Yes or no? Otherwise, it was asking like this, please enter your mobile number 10 digits. Yes or no? So that kind of a program, technique, logics, conditions we can write on your database. But that kind of logics I cannot write on my text files, on my flat files. Okay now? So that is one of the biggest problem. And later same thing. If I was created in my database, suppose it is an integer means integer format data only allowed. Suppose if you send any string format, immediately it was showing error, conversion type problem is occurred. So conversion means data type conversion, one type to another. So that kind of error is immediately sending to your client application by your database server. So that's why you can't store like this and you can't store like this. Understand now? So that kind of things are there in database, but that was not there in my flat files. So this is what we called as a data integrity problem. Okay, right down below. Data integrity. It's nothing but to checking data before going to store or save, before going to store but flat files are not supporting data validations. Supporting data validations. Whereas databases, or where database supports supports data validation. Okay, right. And the next one is called as what now? Security. And this is also one of the biggest problem in your flat file. And of course, there is no security. Okay, there is no security. Okay, in flat files. There is no security in flat files data. This is one more problem. So anybody can come out and open my file and they can easily see my data, whatever it was. Okay. So that's why simple I can say there is no security in a flat file data. The next one is called as what now? Indexing. So generally indexing, where we want to use, it means that when you want to retrieve your data fastly, the index is nothing but what now? We are using indexes to retrieving data fastly. But in flat file, this index technique or mechanism also we cannot apply. And that is the reason what I said in the flat file, if any necessary information, okay, the user wanted, then you need to check each and every line. Each and every line you have to check. And the checking of each and every line purpose, we are writing some programming code. So this is time consuming process, okay, to retrieving your data. It's not faster. It was very, very slow technique and slow processing. So to overcome this, okay, Generally, in databases, we are applying what now? Indexing concept. So now I'm telling just normally to understanding what is index, but practically I will show you in our classes. Okay, now? Now guys, tell me, almost in every textbook or book, can you see your first page is having what now? Index page. Anybody identify now? Yes. Almost your any textbook or any textbook or book, you can see the first page is called as what now? Index page. So now tell me guys here, why the publisher is giving index pages in your textbook? Is there any advantage we have index page? Yes. What is the advantage? Suppose you have a Oracle textbook. The Oracle textbook is having 500 page numbers. Out of 500 page numbers, you are required a topic in which page number you don't know. But I want to pick one topic from my textbook. The topic name is, for example, joints. So this joints topic, the user want it now. But this joints topic in which page number, the user doesn't know. So that's what it was happening here. To pick this concept out of 500 page numbers, so what we want to take help? Indexes. So definitely the user has to go index page and check in index page each and every topic in which location, at which page number it was clearly given to us. Yes or no? Yes. Suppose your index page is telling that joints is having the page number 45. So when it was knowing by user, then what user want to do? He doesn't go to search each and every page number. Instead of searching the page numbers, he will directly jump to 45. So I can directly jump to 45. So because I know that my required topic is located in so and so page number. So instead of that, the 44 page numbers, I don't know or I didn't search. So when you're not searching 44 page numbers means each page number will take 1 second of time. Then total time, how much? 44 seconds of time is saved. Or you understand my point? Yes. The 45 seconds of time is a save. So we are not searching these all page numbers. So then each page, 1 second of time it will take. Then it will be saving my time. How much? 44 seconds of time is saved. Got it my point? This is advantage of what now? Indexes actually. But that kind of index technique or mechanism, okay, we cannot implement or apply on your flat files because flat files are not supporting any type of index mechanism. Okay now? Right down below. Index is nothing but to retrieve the data fastly. But flat files are not allowed this technique. Not allowed this technique, whereas database allowed this technique. Whereas database is allowed this technique. Okay, right. So these are the major problems in your flat files. Okay, now, and these drawbacks to overcome purpose, the people was introducing one software in real time. The software is called as what now? DBMS. Okay, now, and now we will see what is DBMS, DBMS advantages, DBMS models. Okay, and each model, what it will do, how the data can be managed, drawbacks, outdated models, present model, which model the people are using in real time, what is the most popular model in database. Okay, now, so these are all kind of information we are going to be discussing this part. And after finishing this part, then I will enter into Oracle classes. Okay, now, because now in this part you can understand that what exactly Oracle. Okay, now, right. So now below write down to overcome to overcome the above problems, to overcome the above drawbacks, the above drawbacks, we need a concept. We need a concept to overcome the above drawbacks. We need a concept is called as DBMS. We need a concept is called as a DBMS. Now, take side heading. What is DBMS? What is DBMS? So basically, DBMS is called as a software, guys. Here, DBMS is a software. So which is used to manage and maintains to manage and maintain data or information information in database memory, information in database memory. Full stop. By using DBMS software, we can perform the following operations. We can perform the following operations are, what is the first operation? Okay, creating databases or creating database memory, creating database memory. Next, creating tables, Next, inserting data, Next, updating data. Next, reading data is nothing but select. Okay, na? Select command. Reading data. Next, deleting data. So these are what now with the DBMS. Okay, we can do some particular operations. Okay, those are called as what now? Creating database memories in your server location, creating tables, inserting data, updating, reading, and deleting. These are the main operations we can go to do. Okay, with the DBMS software. Okay, right. And this DBMS software, how it was working means, okay, it will act as an interface, between user and database. Interface between user and database. Okay, and below a small diagram you can take. So this is some user. So user interacting here. Some applications or app. Okay. This is what we called some application here. this application and the database between, and this application means what we called it is a, what is this? UI. And you have one tool here. You have one tool here. The tool is called as, the tool is called as DBMS tool or software. This will be interacting with your database now, or otherwise. This will be interacting with your database now. So now this is your database. Okay, now, so you have your tables and etc. Okay. Okay, right. And here we called as, so interface. Okay. So now careful observe. With this software, general observe, don't try, just start. Up to your diagram clearer? All of you. Okay, now you can see. So with this database, okay, software, first we are creating one database memory location. That is we called as this. Next, table creations. That is what. Next, after user, okay, sending their insert operation. That insert operation, it will go through DBMS to database. Like user will do any modifications. User will do any reading of data. User will do any delete. So these are all are the user will performing through which software? DBMS software. On which memory? Database memory. So that means user can't directly interact here. User direct interaction is not possible. If you want to interact here, compulsory what should be required? DBMS software should be required. First, you want to install this software. With the help of this software, we are creating memory. One memory created. In the memory, table creations, later data insert, update, delete. These all kind of things, sir, I can do it. So without DBMS software, you cannot create any memory location. You can't create any table. You can't store. You can't manipulate. You can't delete. You can't read. So these are all the things we can do with the help of what now? DBMS. That is the DBMS role in between user and database. Okay, now that's why we called as DBMS will act as a interface. The interface is nothing but mediator. Interface is nothing but what now? mediator. So taking request from user, giving to database, database whatever it was respond, that giving to user client application. So in between these two people, your DBMS software will working like a bridge, working like a interface, working like a mediator. Understand now? So that is what is DBMS. If anybody asks you, these are the information. Okay, right. But in this DBMS, they have some models of DBMS. Okay, now, so the DBMS software, again, three types of softwares it was. Okay, that means the initial DBMS software is called as what now? Hierarchical software. Then after that, again, the people was introducing networking software. Then after that, they was introducing what now? Relational software. So DBMS is available in how many softwares? Three types of softwares. One is hierarchical, one is networks, one is relational. Okay. In this three, it will be available. Okay, na? But in this three, networks and hierarchical, these two softwares are present in the market. There is not available because these are called as what now? Outdated softwares. Because the reason outdated means very simple reason. Okay, those are having some drawbacks. So those are having some problems or drawbacks. Then hierarchy, networks, these two DBMS softwares are totally outdated in the world as now. That means up to what we can present. If you see present any company or any industry, any project, we are all developing based on relationals and also object oriented relationals. These are the only present available softwares, but hierarchy networks are outdated. Okay, now write down below some information. Models of DBMS. There are three types of there are three types of there are three types of DBMS models. Okay, those are first one we called as here hierarchical hierarchical database management management system. Okay, this is even though we called as HDBMS. HDBMS. Okay, na? HDBMS. So now we can write. This is a first DBMS software. This is a first DBMS software or tool. Okay, this is a first DBMS software or tool. So in this model, which tool they are using means IMS tool they are using. Tool means software. IMS tool they are using in this model. Okay, now so now IMS stands for Information Management System. Okay, so hierarchical model. Okay, is a first database model, and in this they're using one of the software tool that is called a IMS tool. Okay, Information Management Systems. And the second, in this hierarchical, so many drawbacks, that all drawbacks to overcome purpose. The people was introducing. The next one is what now? Network database management system. Network database management system. NDBMS. Okay. This is second model of DBMS. This is second, okay, DBMS model. Okay. And in this, what we are using, the tool is called as here IDBMS. Here IDB stands for, okay, IDB stands for, IDB stands for Integrated Database Management Systems. Integrated Database Management Systems. Okay, now these are the two, but unfortunately, the two are going to be outdated. So here, HDBMS, HDBMS, okay, and NDBMS models are outdated models, outdated in real time. So as of now, there is no industry and organizations are using these two models, guys. And the next model, the very popular in real time. Can you expect what is this? Yes, relational database management system. Relational database management system is called as RDBMS. So this is very popular and most popular database software. Okay, na? So it is a more popular, it is a more popular database management system in real time. In real time. Okay. But guys, here, careful observe. These are relational databases. Okay. Again, the people was divided into two parts here. That's called it two modules. Okay. Now it was divided into how many modules? Two modules. The module number one. Okay. Here I can say it again, two modules. It again, two models. Those are first module. Those are first module. What is my first module is called as here? Object relational database management system. It is called as a ORDBMS. This is one module in relational database. Okay, now this is one module in relational database. And don't write a second one, don't write, just observe. Because I just change here, don't write. Don't write. Second one is called as a object. What is this here? Oriented, okay, DBMS. That's called as ODBMS. Okay, this is my second one. Object oriented database management systems. So in relational model, again, it was classified into two modules. One is the relational module, object relation. One is relational module, object oriented. So now you people have a question. Sir, in these two modules, which module where the people are using? And object relational database softwares are what? Object oriented database softwares are what? Object relational databases, how the data can be stored. And for storage of data, managing of data, what kind of prerequisites are need by user. Same as in object oriented, how the data can be stored, and the data which format the people were storing under object oriented. And in this, if you want to manage your data, what kind of prerequisites the user is required? Okay, na? Differences observed. Don't write first, observe first, one by one point observe. Object relational databases. In this databases, the first point, data can be stored in or in the form of, anybody expected? In the form of what? In the form of table. First point. So any object relationals or any object relation, whatever it was there, like SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, DB2, Sybase, Informix, Ingresses, Teradata, MaxDB, PostgreSQLs, whatever it was there, these are all are going to be storing, organizing your data in the format of table. Other than table, you cannot represent. Okay, you cannot represent or you cannot store, you cannot organize, you cannot arrange your data in any other format. Impossible. Only the format is what now? Table. So in that way, these databases will be maintain your data. Next, what is table, sir? So a table is nothing but, can I say, it is a collection of rows and columns. Okay, these are the common points I'm going to explaining here. Next one, suppose a row is nothing but what, sir? It is a group of columns. The group of columns will make it as one row. Understand now? A group of columns will make it as one row. Okay, next, next we will go for a row can be called, okay, can be called as, okay, as a row, as a row, as a record, as a tuple. Okay, now these are the meanings of row. A column is called as, or a column can be called as, can be called as what now? Column or attribute. Okay, or field, or what now? Field. So this is what we called. Okay, now? Right. The next one, a database. A database, okay, is nothing but, it's a collection of, it's a collection of what? Tables. Okay, now these are the very common points you always to remember. A database is nothing but group of or collection of tables. A table is nothing but collection of, otherwise I just go to take this one on the top of, better to good hierarchy will form it here. Okay, a database is nothing but collection of tables. A table is nothing but collection of rows and columns. A row is nothing but group of columns. A row can be called as row, record, tuple. A column can be called as column, attribute, and field. Okay, na? So this is what. But sir, these object relational databases, in this databases, if I want to manage and maintain my data in the format of what now? Table. But how I can manage this data in tabular format? Okay, so if I want to manage and maintain data in database, which database? Object relational databases, then these types of databases are completely depends on SQL language. Which language? SQL language. Suppose a user want to work on, a user want to work on object relational databases, then that user must be required the knowledge of SQL. All of you got it, my statement? When a user want to work on object relational databases, then the user must be need SQL knowledge. Without SQL knowledge, you cannot interacting with the object relational databases. Understand na? So that means what I am saying here, these databases are or completely or completely depends on completely depends on which language? SQL. What is the stand of SQL? Structure query language. Structure query language. Okay, na? So that so that these databases so that these databases are called as SQL depending or SQL database or SQL databases. Okay, right. Can you give me some softwares? What it was concerned? Okay, na? Your examples are what na? Oracle. What next I said? SQL Server. What next we called? MySQL. What next we called? DB2. What next we called? Sybase. What next we called? PostgreSQL. SQL. Okay, na? Etc. వచ్చి ఇస్తాను 30 minutes వస్తున్నాడు 30 minutes నాకు 5:30 క్లాస్ ఉంది కదా త్వరగా పంపించండి ఆయన 5:30 ఆయనకి ఏమన్నా 5:30 సార్ క్లోజ్ చేసేస్తారు ఈ టైంలో పంపించమండి Okay, right. So it means what you understand, guys, here. When you interacting with Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL or any of, okay, you require which knowledge? SQL knowledge. So that's why we are learning. Okay, na? So without this knowledge, you can't interact, you can't work on these databases. Impossible. Okay. So that's why these are called a SQL databases we called. Okay. Come to next one, object oriented. So these databases are what, sir? Okay. Now let me see. In object oriented, data can be stored in the form of not a table, in the form of what now? Objects. So objects means like a class name to the class. Can I create object or not? Yes. So here, so data can be stored in the format of objects. Okay, not in tabular format. The object means what now? XYZ, anything. Yes or no? Depending on your requirement. So it will be created like this here or storing like this here. Okay. And these databases, okay, completely depends on, that means when I'm going to create an object and data should be managed in that object format, then the programmer or user, which kind of knowledge is required, means that these databases are completely depends on, carefully observe, these databases are completely depends on which concept? Oops. That's called a object oriented programming languages you required. So what is object oriented programming languages? Java, C#.NET, Python. So whenever a programmer or user, he want to work on object oriented databases, then the person should be know the good knowledge of OOPS. And the OOPS, any language, there is not only Java, not only Python, anyone out of these three, either Java knowledge, either Python knowledge, either .NET knowledge. In these three object oriented programs, any programming, OOPS concepts, if you have a good idea, then you can easily handle object oriented. That's why the name also, can you see what is the name? Object oriented. What is OOPS? Object oriented programming. What it was comes in the futures? What it was comes under OOPS? Class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulations. Okay, now these are the 6 or 7 we have here. So this 6 or 7, if you have a good idea, then you can go to interact this. Okay, now. So that's why what it will be happen. These databases are completely depends on OOPS, but not depends on what you expect, SQL, but not depends on SQL. Okay, now so that these databases are called as anybody listen? Anybody listen nowadays? What is that? What is that? No SQL databases. What we called no SQL databases, because these are not depends on SQL. So that's why we called as a no SQL databases. Okay. Sir, what it was comes? What it was comes and very popular in real time. What is this? MongoDB. Next, what is now? What is now? Cassandra. Okay, now? So MongoDB, Cassandra, these are object oriented and very, very famous tools. These two are. Okay, now? So this is, guys, the differences of object oriented and object relationals. Now, by seeing of this information, now conclusion. What is your oracle? What is your oracle? Come on. What is your oracle? Object relational. Object relational. So what you need? What you need? SQL. What do you need? SQL. Okay, na? So that is what differences. And here we are learning Oracle course is completely depending on SQL, and also latest language is what now? PLSQL. So that is called advanced SQL also we called. So SQL and advanced SQL. Advanced SQL is what now? Your extension. PLSQL. PLSQL is a extension of SQL. Okay, na? So these are required to interacting, working on your object relational database. Anyone out of this, you require a knowledge. And one more thing, once you have a good knowledge on SQL, these all databases can be handled. Okay, na? So you don't want to learn SQL Server separately, Oracle separately, MySQL separately, not necessary. Okay, once you have a good idea on SQL, any relational database in real time, you can handle it. But only minor changes, very, very, that is small changes. But there is no any big change. Small changes are there. So that changes, if you properly identify, then you can go to check it out that. That means change it that and work. Okay, na? Because these all databases are working on SQL based only, it was working. But depends on the tools, Oracle tool, SQL Server tool, MySQL tool, some minor differences are there. Okay, not major. In which language? SQL only. But when come to PLSQL, then completely different. PLSQL, Oracle different. PLSQL, SQL Server different. Okay, na? So both don't compare. So Oracle PLSQL, SQL Server PLSQL, both are differences. If you wanted that, you definitely separately learn. You want it only SQL, you can learn anything. Okay, na? But in this topmost database is what now here? Oracle is a topmost and very widely the people are using in real time also. Okay, na? So these are the things. That means our course we are working and we are completing and we are covering which one? Object relational concepts. We are not covering any object oriented concepts. And of course, Java students, .NET students, Python students, AWS students, DevOps students, data science students, Selenium testing students. Okay, na? So MSBI student, Power BI student, they required SQL knowledge, not object oriented. So you have SQL knowledge grip, then you can easily handle your applications. Understand now? So otherwise, if you're asking, sir, who will learn this? Who will learn this? Suppose some people are asking, who was learning this means, who are trying the jobs on object-oriented databases. Suppose you want to go as a Mongo developer, you want to go as a Cassandra developers. So in that particular areas, if anybody trying the jobs, so those people go to learn object oriented. But before learning of object oriented, first to learn OOPS concept. For that purpose, you can join Java classes or .NET classes or Python classes. Any language, only OOPS concept, you just learn it and go to this course and learn MongoDB or Cassandra. Okay, now? So these are the what now complete information about your DBMS. Are you clear now? Now tell me guys, a little bit understanding now. What is what now you are understanding? What is MongoDB? What is Oracle? Why MongoDB is called as a NoSQL database? Why Oracle is called as a SQL database? Differences understand now? Yes. Okay, now? So these are minimum awareness before you want to start the main classes. Understand now? So as of now, whatever we discuss guys here, this is completely introduction and history about your DBMS. Okay, now? So then after your main course classes are started. Which classes? Oracle. So that's why here my topic number DBMS. Okay, we check it out whatever the necessity things we taken, and now we will go for Oracle topic number 2. And from here onwards, online and offline students, okay, if any newcomers, from here onwards, you have to focus. Because when you go to interviews, maximum from here onwards, you will get it. But nowadays, what it was happen, especially in database interviews, they must be asking the question, what is the differences between SQL databases and no SQL databases? This is one of the important question. That's why I'm going to explaining this. If you go to other institutions, other people will not explain this much. They're directly saying that Oracle relational database management system ho gaya hai. But this much explanation, 3 days sessions, nobody can give this much clarity. Okay, but why I'm giving means my so many students, when they go to interviews, they're facing this kind of questions. So many interviews are asking differences of SQL, NoSQL. Okay, database difference, what in NoSQL database, which softwares will come, in SQL database, which software will come, data, how they can manage it in this, what we required. So these are the so many students when they're going to database interviews, they're facing initially. Okay, now? And later, of course, your Oracle is a topmost product. And in this, so many topics we are going to be learning. But first case in this session, I'm giving what now completely Oracle related things. What is Oracle? Oracle versions, futures, Oracle architecture. Okay, now? Then Oracle software, how to download from your Oracle website, installation process, and later Oracle user accounts creations, user account passwords, how to change. If I forgot it, my Oracle password, how I can recover. If I forgot it, Oracle user IDs, how I can recover. So how, these are all kind of things. Okay, now? We will be learning in this part. After getting the knowledge of Oracle software and Oracle tool, then we started our SQL language integrations. Then SQL queries, how we can go to integrate it with your Oracle application. Understand now? So this is the mechanism and process what I was followed here. Okay, right. But this topic, guys, ఇస్తారా ఇచ్చారా Okay, guys, one important message to you. So, your next class on Wednesday. Okay, no? So, Wednesday, and from Wednesday onwards, the 3 to 4 sessions, okay, you will be come and attend through online. Okay, no? And this is your online Zoom ID. All of you note down. All of you, offline students also. Okay, na? Few days, okay, you need to come through this account, okay, Zoom ID, online, write down the Zoom ID of online people also, offline people, both the online and offline people. With this ID, you people will be connected. So 8274 9362 975, and the password, okay, 112233. So that means your next class on, so that is also carefully observed, don't confuse. Next class on Wednesday. Wednesday means 31st 05 2023, your next class, and classes are going on through online. Okay, now 31st onwards, 3 to 4 classes will going through Zoom ID online. Okay, now understand all of you. So that means tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no classes, holidays. Wednesday, you don't come to class here. You have to stay at home or room, whatever it was. From Wednesday onwards, 4 to 5 classes. Okay, now you just come and listen through this online ID. Okay, Zoom ID. Okay, now I'm the faculty only. Don't worry. So I will come with the video classes. I will come to you in video. Okay, now. Okay. So just 4 to 5 sessions you will be making like this. Understand all of you. And after that, again, online and offline classes are started. Okay. So when it was started, the management people informed to you. Again, on the day, who are offline, they can come as usual offline classes. Who are online, they will come to online classes. Just 4 to 5 days, this will be. It's not permanent. Understand? It's not permanent. Okay. And timings same. So timings never change. As usual, whatever the timings we followed here, same timings will be started. Understand clear now? Okay. Okay. So this is all of you. This 4 to 5 sessions attend through online. Okay. And your class is when? Wednesday, 31st. Okay, na? And further offline classes, they will inform to you. At the time, you and me again come to you. Okay, na? Okay, guys. So thank you. Thank you so much. No, Deepa, no classes on Saturdays, Monday, Tuesday. Again, your class on Wednesday. Okay. The Zoom ID I was given a number. Jay, Zoom ID number. This is your as usual ID number. As usual ID. There is no change. This is your as usual ID, no change. So now which ID through are you connected? Which ID through are you connected? Online people, which ID through are you connected? Same as same ID. There is no changes. Okay, na? Now we are connecting which ID? Same as. Yes, yes, ID from your Gmail. Yes. Yes. Online people, the same ID through you can log in. ID will not change. Same ID through you will log in. Okay, na? Right. How you are login now? 3-4 days. How you are login? Same procedure. Same ID. Okay. No, tomorrow no class. Tomorrow no class. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days no classes. Next class on Wednesday. Okay, na Vikash? Right. Right. Same as usual timings. Timings as usual. The 4:15, 4 to 4:15 it will started up to 5:30. Up to 5:30. Okay, na Venkat? Right, right. Same timings, sir. Timings, everything will be same. Just all people are coming to online. That's it. Okay, right. Morning batches, it will take some time here. There is no any confirmation as of now. Okay, right.
Example of relational DBMS, but we are learning Java, that is object-oriented programming. How we will correct that?
That is the thing, na. Object-oriented means Java is object-oriented itself.
Yes.
But the concepts they needed to implementing under object-oriented database. But Java concepts we cannot implement under object relationals. Relationals में कुछ यूज नहीं होता है. यहाँ पर यूज करते हैं. रिलेशनल्स में क्या होता है आपका? जस्ट कनेक्टिविटीज. आपका जावा एप्लीकेशन को एक ओरेकल एप्लीकेशन से कैसे कनेक्टिविटी करना है. और एक बात है कि जावा एप्लीकेशन को आप ओओ से कनेक्ट नहीं हो सकते. इट इज ओनली फॉर OLTP. दैट्स कॉल्ड ए ओरेकल स्टोर. वही नहीं मोंगोडीबी में आप क्या करेंगे? आपका जावा का एप्लीकेशन आप इंटीग्रेटेड ओरेकल से करते हैं, मोंगोडीबी से नहीं करते हैं. मोंगोडीबी कौन करेगा? डेटा साइंस पीपल, रोबोटिक पीपल, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पीपल. So those application people are going to be interacting MongoDB. Even though Python people also MongoDB interacting. And robotics, artificial intelligence, data sciences, those people required. But Java people not required.
All banking sector,
Oracle. Some part of people Oracle, some part of people MongoDB. The application development levels oriented. Data storage levels, data manipulations levels, modification levels, processing level. This is what now? Object relation. So data store करना ये करना तो relational. Application को develop करना है तेरे को. उस time में object oriented को use करते हैं. Okay? So otherwise, if it is not, then why we are teaching? Okay? Right. वही आपका ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड, दैट इज योर एप्लीकेशन, यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट जावा साइड. बट जावा से जो भी फॉर्म आप डिजाइन करते हैं वो फॉर्म से कम्युनिकेशन करते हैं. किसको करते हैं? रिलेशनल डेटाबेस को करते हैं. ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस को नहीं करते आपका. उसका रिएक्शन, उसका कनेक्टिविटीज नहीं है, इसी का कनेक्टिविटी है. सो इसके साथ आप करते हैं. ये जो पीपल यहाँ पर काम करते हैं ना ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड में, ये जो पीपल उसके ऊपर काम करने के लिए जावा से ऊप्स कंसेप्ट लेकर करेंगे. समझ में आया अभी? जावा डिफरेंट, ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डिफरेंट, ऑब्जेक्ट रिलेशनल डिफरेंस. ओके ना? एसक्यूएल में, ओरेकल रिलेशनल में कुछ भी कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे. डायरेक्टली कनेक्टिविटी करके डेटा स्टोर करके डेटा लेकर आना, स्टोर करना, मैनिपुलेट करना, वो करेंगे. But this is completely different. It's a programming type.
इसको कनेक्ट करना होगा तो कब करेंगे?
हूप से कनेक्ट नहीं होता है यार, फॉर्म से कनेक्ट होता है. ऐसे नहीं, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ अभी ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस में जो भी काम करते हैं ना, उन लोग को क्या चाहिए? ऊप्स कॉन्सेप्ट का नॉलेज चाहिए. जैसे हम लोग रिलेशनल डेटाबेस में काम करने से क्या नॉलेज चाहिए? एसक्यूएल नॉलेज चाहिए. समझ में आया अभी? और उस ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस में कोई भी काम करते हैं उसको एसक्यूएल नहीं चाहिए. उनको क्या चाहिए? oops concept का what we चाहिए requirement, that is oops का मतलब क्या है, क्लास क्रिएट कैसे करेंगे, ऑब्जेक्ट का मतलब क्या है, इनहेरिटेंस, उसका नॉलेज चाहिए. बट हियर इंप्लीमेंटेशन इज अगेन डिफरेंट. ओके, जैसे मैंने ऑब्जेक्ट रिलेशन को एसक्यूएल चाहिए, ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड को oops चाहिए. ओके, बट oops चाहिए मतलब इट्स नॉट जावा, बिकॉज़ oops इज देयर इन .NET आल्सो, oops इज देयर इन पाइथन आल्सो, सो देयर इज नो रिलेशन. जस्ट उसका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ना वो लेकर मैं यहाँ पर काम करता हूँ. जैसे एसक्यूएल का नॉलेज लेकर रिलेशनल में कैसे काम करते हैं, जैसे जावा और .NET पाइथन से ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड लेकर यहाँ पर काम करते हैं. मगर जावा को उसको कोई रिलेशन नहीं रहता. जावा रिलेशन विद ऑब्जेक्ट रिलेशनल होंगे. ओके,
Integrated Google Classroom.
या
We have not linked that.
नहीं, दिस इज द लिंक ओनली.